Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today what we're going to do is we're really going to talk about the two patterns. The one that you're swinging on is in blue, and the one that Mr. Hogan swung on was in red. Now let me bring up this illustration right here. The blue, okay? The blue, basically looking at it, you're going to be going from 9 o'clock to 7, 7 to 5, 5 to 3 o'clock. And in the bottom of that clock is what you see is what everybody thinks is the arc, okay? But if you try to make the swing on the arc, it gets very difficult to do because the only thing that's going on the arc is the club head. So if you can look at the lines from 9 to 7, 7 to 5, and then 5 to 3. That is the pattern of the modern golf swing, okay? Now we all know that I've been talking about putting the 90 in front of us. So if we look at this image, basically, you're gonna see how it goes from 8 to 6, and then from 6 to 4. Point blank. 8 to 6, 6 to 4. Okay, so remember that. This is very, very important. So now I'm going to use a very keen explanation to help you understand this, because even though both of those are two different connection points within the arc, you have to remember that the plane 60 is going to be more of the modern swing. So 60 would be more like this. And that's why you see some of the stack and tilt guys trying to get their shoulders down, or you see everybody think they're getting this big tilt, because that's going to match more with the 60. Now you have some people that think the plane is a 45-degree plane, and then you have me thinking that it will tilt on the 30-degree plane, which is the absolute truth, because it's the only matchup. 60 in the spine, 30 in the planes that we're working on creates the 90-degree angle. So now that we know that this clock, or this, arc that we want to call it, is tilted forward. So when it's tilted forward, it creates the plane that we'll be working on in order to get to the top. Okay, so now that we understand that and really get a good idea, the blue image, 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Goes like that, okay? Then if we look at the red image, 8 o'clock to 6, 6 to 4, point blank. Okay, so get ready. All right, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this like model airplane and show you why one is more difficult than the other. And this is what Mr. Hogan figured out. Okay, we've all been to the beach, right? And everybody's looked up and you see that plane fly by and it's got the little, oh, come for happy hour at this, whatever. And it takes off and it does whatever. Okay, so now I'm not gonna worry about, the backswing. I'm really going to show you the difficulty in the downswing. So let's imagine, because again, everything's tilted forward, which is why I really emphasize that the arc is on a plane at a tilt, whether it's 60, 45, 30, 70, whatever. It doesn't matter. But what matters is knowing that it's on a tilt and it's going from 9 to 7, 7 to 5, 5 to 3, it creates this path like that, right? So watch what happens with the airplane. And everybody talks about, the push and the pull, or whatever, or pull the club or do whatever. So let's take this airplane and we're gonna go 9 o'clock to 7, then it's gonna pull like this and go 7 o'clock to 5, and then it's going to go 5 up to 3. Okay, now watch this. The only way that you can hit the golf ball doing this is what people think. they go here and they're coming 9 to 7 and then 7 to 5. So somewhere going from 7 to 5, this plane would have to turn into the body to swing the club head out. Okay? So if it's coming down here, it's going this way from 9 to 7, 7 to 5, and about right there, the plane would have to swing like this and then make this somehow go from, 5 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Okay, now think about that. 9 o'clock to 7, and then the plane goes like this because it's pulling it behind, so it's got this straight line, but somewhere right here at impact, that plane would have to turn like this to be able to get that flag to come out and hit the ball. Okay, so what happens to most people? They're like, okay, this is where people go into this flippy type of motion because they're like, there's no way in heck I'm going to turn this airplane and go like that. So what do? They get here, they're coming down 9 o'clock to 7, then they go 7 to 5, and they're like, oh my goodness, flip, because they're thinking they're right here, their hand starts to flip, so the plane would go like this and allow that club head to swing this way, right? Or the people that hang on to it, they're there, they're coming here, and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to get over here. So they stand up so that the flag will go underneath the plane like that, okay? And these are very difficult release patterns, and you can plain as day see what's really going to happen in order to make the club head go out. Okay, so now let's understand the 90s that I have been telling you guys about religiously on this channel. So watch this. Now our descent, because again, I said we're working on the 30-degree planes at a 60-degree tilt. So now all of a sudden, here comes the plane. It's coming down. There's 8 o'clock to 6. And then when it banks, look at what just happened to the flag. If this was a pretend flag in the little beach scenario, right? So here it comes. It's coming down at, again, because we're working our 90s, just like Mr. Hogan. So all of a sudden, here it comes. Right down to 8. And then it banks. And when it banks, because it's going up this way, like the lever system, now it's gone around the turn, and everybody thinks this is low and left, but it's low and high. It's low and high. So I kind of broke that off there. Sorry about that, guys, because of the, I guess, the pulling nature of everything, right? So all of a sudden, this thing is going to go like this. It's going to go here. It's going to go 8 o'clock, and then it's going to go 8 to 6, and then it's going to bank. And when it banks, that's what accelerates the club head. So the club head goes just like that. Because now, again, even though it's going this way, that plane is now working the 90 degrees behind us. So hopefully this visual is going to help you. It just is what it is, guys. Mr. Hogan fully understood the 90 degrees in front of him. He understood the 90 degrees behind him. He understood, believe it or not, with the cup and all these things, this plane in the backswing is going to go like this because it's going up and in. Then there's a 45-degree angle change. Then it comes up. Then it goes another 45-degree angle change there. Then if I switch this down, it's coming. There's the 45-degree angle change. It starts coming down. Now it's coming on that angle. There's another 45-degree angle change. Now it's going 8 to 6. And then all of a sudden it goes 6 to 4. And when it goes 6 to 4, that club head will snap into the ball, and you will hit the ball better than you ever have in your life. That's why the information here of what I'm sharing with you, it's not about becoming, like I've said 100 times, it's not about becoming a clone of Mr. Hogan. But what it's really about is understanding how these angle changes, acute angle changes, cause angular acceleration, cause you to hit the ball with authority. And believe it or not, Ben Hogan, in my opinion, was the best ball striker to ever play the game. Ever. Why? Because he figured out the correct pattern, which is the red versus the blue. Everybody else in the world is swinging on the blue. It's what's taught with the modern teaching standards. But if you logically look at this and imagine this flying behind it, and it's working from 9 to 7, 7 to 5, 5 to 3. How is this going to... The only way it can happen is if you start doing this type of stuff. And it's just, it's problematic. Can it be done? Sure it can. Guys are doing it on TV all day long. Okay? But the reality is, to become a sensational world-class ball striker, please understand, we on this channel are attacking these 90s like there is no tomorrow. And when we attack the 90s, look at how much better our body movement gets. Look how we're able to recenter. Look how we're able to start attacking this angle. And then you guys have seen me how to lever the hip. All I'm doing is going 8 to 6, 6 to 4, and then there's that explosive kind of just explosion through the ball, and the hands are going to come up and finish the swing. So hopefully this is going to help. We'll look for you in the next video.